A few years ago, I went to Bath, England for vacation. And while I was there, I went to a local bookstore. I always try and read local authors when I travel. And I bought this, To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. So I bought the book, and it ended up in my suitcase because I was having so much fun just exploring the sights and taking in the nature and just taking long walks and just daydreaming pretty much. So I didn't get around to reading the book. So a few weeks ago I was looking at my bookshelf and I came across Virginia Woolf. So I looked at the book and I said, okay, it's not such a long book. Either read it or donate it. Just don't keep it hanging around. I decided to give it a try. And I sat down, opening the book, reading the first few pages. I had to read it over again, and I had to read it over again. And I think I read it about 5 times, and it wasn't registering. If you've ever read Virginia Woolf, you know that she writes in a stream of consciousness format. So that means that you are inside the heads of these characters. And you might be in the head of a character like Mrs. Ramsay, and she's thinking about her husband, Mr. Ramsay, and then suddenly you're in Mr. Ramsay's head. So you really have to pay attention when you read a Virginia Woolf book, especially To the Lighthouse, as I soon discovered. And the reason why I wasn't able to concentrate, I realized it was because my mind was reeling. You know, we're in the middle of this pandemic, and I have never been a news junkie. Quite the opposite, actually. I like to stay informed and then shut it down. But I had been obsessing about the news. There was so much going on. Every day was different than the last. I was anxious, like we talked about in the last episode, and my brain just would not focus. So I took the book, I turned off my computer, I turned off all the news, and I sat and I focused. And I was able to read a few chapters in one sitting, and I actually really enjoyed the book. I was so proud that I was able to focus. Now, I want to share with you another way that you can learn to focus your brain, and that is by scrambling eggs. Egg cookery requires so much care, so much attention, because eggs are so delicate. And if you stop paying attention for 1 second, they're going to be either overcooked or stick to the pan or just not turn out the way that you'd like. So this is a wonderful exercise to focus your brain. Scramble some eggs. Now I'm bringing this recipe to you, well, these instructions, not an actual recipe, because it's an ingredient that a lot of people already have in their kitchens. They're inexpensive, and it's something that most Americans, I think, have made in their lives. I think most people have scrambled an egg, so it doesn't require a lot of knowledge going into it. Now here is the thing. I'm going to teach you how to scramble eggs without using a non-stick skillet. What we're going to use instead is a stainless steel skillet. Now, I think a lot of you are probably saying, oh God, why would I do that? The eggs are going to stick. Well, this is the exercise. This is the value of the exercise. In order to cook eggs in a stainless steel skillet without them sticking, you have to pay very close attention. So once again, this is an exercise in focusing your attention. So here are my instructions. Take your stainless steel skillet and put it on your burner on your stove. Turn the heat to low. And I want you to set your kitchen timer for 4 minutes. Now that's going to seem like a long time to preheat a pan, and I think most people are probably used to preheating an oven but not preheating a skillet. So this is the key to having eggs or any other food that do not stick to the skillet, a stainless steel skillet that is. Preheat your pan, low heat, 4 minutes. Okay. Now while that is heating up, you're going to take your eggs and prepare them for being cooked. Take your eggs, crack them into a bowl, add some salt and pepper, and whisk them with a fork. Now just whisk them until they're uniform and a little bit frothy and just a lot lighter in texture. They may even turn like a lemony yellow color. The next step, after your pan has preheated for 4 minutes, you want to add some fat. Add a little bit of oil. You can use olive oil, coconut oil, sesame oil. We're cooking at a very low heat, so the type of oil doesn't make a difference. Choose the oil according to what flavor or health benefits that you'd like. You can use oil or you can use butter. Put the fat in the pan. Now we're going to observe what the oil does or the butter does in the pan. If the oil starts to smoke, it means that the pan is too hot. But that's okay. Just wipe out the pan, let it rest on a cold burner for maybe 2 minutes, then put it back under the low heat. Same thing with the butter. If the butter starts to sizzle and turn brown, take it off the stove, wipe out the pan, let it cool down for a minute, then put it back on the low heat. Now I'm saying this because every stovetop is different. So some people's low heat will be higher than other people's low heat. But this is an exercise in concentration. So it's okay if the heat was a little too high. You just wipe out the pan and start again. That's the beauty of this. You can always start again. Next step, you put your fat into the pan. You swirl the pan around so that it's evenly coated with the oil or the butter. Then you gently pour in the eggs. Now you will notice that the eggs won't start to bubble and sizzle. They'll be very quiet. And you'll notice that around the edge of the pan and on some of the bottom of the pan, the eggs will start to turn white. And when they do, you take a spatula and you gently push the edges into the center. Then you wait until the eggs begin to turn white again. Then you gently press them into the center again. And you continue to do this until all the eggs are cooked. And then you turn out the pan onto a plate. You put the eggs on the plate and you enjoy them. Now here's the thing. Your pan will have no scorching on it at all. I think you know what scorched eggs look like in a pan and how difficult they are to scrub clean. It's pretty much a nightmare. But I guarantee you, if you focus your attention and you cook the eggs with care, you will have a clean pan that just requires a little bit of soap and water, then it's ready for the next batch. Well, I hope you try this at home and definitely leave a note in the comments section and let me know how it went for you. And let me know how your brain felt. Were you able to focus your thoughts? Personally, just talking about this is making me feel more calm. The kitchen offers so many opportunities for calm, for centering, for focus, and for joy. Try the scrambled egg experiment and let me know how it goes. Okay, thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.